In today's world, our livers are overloaded. And the kind of food we eat, the kind of lifestyle that we have, the liver and the kidneys, those two organs are facilitating the detox the most for us. And also there are herbs which allow us to keep the liver in good health. The best one would be something called as the dandelion root.
Yeah, but it's not like you can drink alcohol the night and then have dandelion tea in the morning, right?
The next thing, people are having alcohol with dandelion infusing in that. No, guys, doesn't work that way for sure. One thing I always like to ask my clients is that, is the work for you or are you for the work?
Right.
And once you understand that differentiation, it's a very subtle differentiation but once you understand it, it sets your perspective right.
Yeah. So every time we are asked this question, right? Hey, hi, tell me about yourself. The first thing you would say is, I'm an actor. I meet with this wonderful lady who she speaks the most sense to me, and she was like, "Is that all you are? What is who are you? Who is?" I was like, "I'm an actor." Okay, yeah. Then we are defined. We define ourselves by the work we do. Yeah. I could be, I like dance. I like to laugh a lot. I have a sense of humor. I don't define myself as any of these things. I just define myself by the work that I do. And I think that has to change in our minds, that we work so that we can live like the people we want to be, like the life that we want to live in. But somehow it's become the other way around. Yeah.
So recently, I was hearing a talk by this really, really profound individual. His name is Eckhart Tolle. And he mentioned something that resonated deeply with me. He said all the roles that we play in our life, the professional self, you must be a father, you must be a son, you must be a mother, and all those things, those are just the hats we put on in life for that duration in time. At the end of the day, when we are just by ourselves, we can't live with the hat on. It's just our own self, and the more we are attached to one particular hat, the more difficult is going to be for us. And just thinking of it is just another role that we play in our life. I think that's an important key to living a happy and a healthy life. We have talked about sweat, we have talked about the lymph, we have talked about the colon and the gut. The last thing that I would want to talk about is the organs that we have. Primarily the liver and the kidneys, because those two organs are what are facilitating the detox the most for us. And most importantly, between liver and kidney, liver is the one thing that I would want to talk about, because in most of the clients that I deal with towards autoimmunity, liver is something that is compromised the most. In today's world, our livers are overloaded for sure. And the kind of food we eat, the kind of lifestyle that we have, it just takes a lot of load on the liver. So, if you're drinking out of a plastic bottle, our BPA intake is high. If it's not a non-BPA bottle, then liver has to
BPA, what do you mean by BPA in English, please?
So BPA is a chemical that we get from the plastics and plastic containers and all the other plastic related things that we have. Then there are microplastics.
Right.
So even if you're drinking out of a mineral water, we are having some microplastics intake from that. Even if you are using a tea bag, we are having a microplastic intake with that. If you are drinking coffee in a to-go mug, we are having a microplastic intake from that. This one is a ceramic mug. Okay. We are fine with that. All the cosmetics that we use and the toxin our skin absorbs from that, liver has to detoxify that. All the alcohol that we drink.
All the alcohol that I don't drink, but people drink.
Yeah. So liver has to detoxify that. So all that takes a load on the liver, quite a lot. And many people have clogged livers. And on top of that, if we eat things that are cold and that are processed, that takes a further load on the liver that we have. and liver produces something called as bile. So bile is very important for the fat to be digested. And if we consume things which are cold or processed, and if we do not have enough fat in the diet, the bile becomes thick and it turns into a sludge. And most of the people have liver sludges within them, which reduces the capacity at which our liver kind of works. So, again, going back to the traditional thing of our parents asking us to eat warm food, that makes sure that your liver is in good health.
My God, they knew it all, didn't they? They knew it all.
Yeah. Even if they do not know the reasons, they were doing the right things.
Right.
Yeah. And eating warm food.
What would you say cold food? By cold food, you mean like ice cream or something?
Ice creams, cold coffees, cold salads, cold salad dressings.
Right.
And all those things.
This is hard on the liver.
Yeah. It is hard on the liver for sure. And apart from that, if our fat intake is very less, which many people think that fat is not good for us. If we eat fat, we'll gain fat. That is going to be further bad for your liver, because if we eat fat, only then the body will release bile, because the bile is required to digest fat.
Okay, but there are good fats.
Yeah, so
you
saturated
can't eat
fats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Saturated fats would be the best kind of fats to go for. Exception of olive oil, a well-made olive oil derived from the original fruit, not the seed.
I have a lot of coconut oil. So for me, I get my good fats from coconut oil and nuts, avocado. But I think that coconut oil is really good.
Yeah.
If you're looking at good fats, right?
Coconut oil is really good, and in fact, coconut oil has bacterial disinfectant properties. So if you have coconut oil, it can also disinfect your gut from the bad bacteria. So does olive oil.
Right.
But
olive oil you can't cook.
Its smoking point is less.
Yeah, you can't cook in olive oil, but you can cook in coconut oil. So all my food is now cooked in coconut oil, and I feel better. I like it. So you would say warm food then?
Warm food, and also, people have this habit of drizzling ghee on top of their food, which is also a traditional thing that we do. That helps the liver health. Eating bitter foods activates the liver enzymes that we have, and that also helps the liver a great deal. And also drinking
like bitter food, like bitter gourd and stuff like that.
Yeah,
anything bitter.
Yeah, bitter gourd and stuff. Raw cacao does a really good job at that.
So dark chocolate is helping me then.
Dark chocolate, yes, not the traditional sweetened ones. Yeah,
the really dark ones.
Yeah, and drinking hot chocolate from a really well sourced raw milk can really help us with that. And also there are herbs which allow us to keep the liver in good health. The best one would be something called as the dandelion root. So if you go online, search for dandelion teas, you can easily find a product and you can incorporate dandelion teas in your day-to-day life. That will help you to detoxify the liver and increase the liver enzymes as well.
Yeah, but it's not like you can drink alcohol the night and then have dandelion tea in the morning, right?
I hope it worked that way.
I'm sure that was the first thought that came in everyone's mind. So I can have alcohol and have dandelion tea in the next day morning and detox my liver. That doesn't work like that, right?
No. The next thing, people are having alcohol with dandelion infusing in that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, so you be very clear about what you're saying.
No, guys, doesn't work that way for sure. So, also coffee.
Black coffee,
since it's bitter, it has a lot of liver protecting properties to it.
Okay.
So coffee does wonders, but one thing to understand with coffee is that if you are already stressed, coffee can sometimes
make you jittery. I've been there because I love coffee. That's the one thing that I can't live without. I need a cup of coffee every day, sometimes too. And sometimes when I feel like I am a bit stressed and I have a cup of coffee, I tend to get a bit jittery.
Yeah.
So yes, I do. I have been there and I have experienced that.
Yeah.
So you would say that do not have coffee when you are in a high stress situation or when you're worked up.
Yeah, rather than avoiding coffee, what we can do is we can have it in a way where it reduces its stress elevating properties. The best way to do it is to add a fat and a carb source to the coffee. So adding some fresh cream and some honey to the coffee, mixing it and then having it get those stress elevating properties down, and we can reap those positive benefits of the coffee that there are.
Wonderful. Okay, so like if I have to put this in a gist about the things that people can do to detox their body, it would be sweat.
Yeah.
So exercise every day, some kind of movement.
Yeah.
Lymphatic system, you said that specifically to have, you said where you dislodge your body. So there's a lot of jumping involved. There's a lot of stretching.
Yeah.
So, which is why I think that I need to add one mobility day to my strength training, because right now it's just 6 days of strength training and nothing else.
Yeah.
But off late, I've started doing gymnastics again.
That's really nice.
So I'm thinking that my lymphatic system is going to be fixed there.
Yeah, you're like flying in gymnastics.
Yeah, I am flying. And with gut, we discussed that probably adding fermented foods in our diet, things that are readily available at home, like what did you call it? I call it kanji.
Yeah. Panta bhat.
Okay, that. Yeah. And sauerkraut and probably yogurt and things that are easily available at home to us.
Yeah.
To help with our gut, but also our digestive system. Make sure that our digestive system, which is very interesting that you said that say a little prayer or say a little thanks. If you're not religious, say thanks.
Yeah.
And just a bit of gratitude for the food and what it is doing to your body. It's nourishing your body. It's healing your body. It's life in itself.
Yeah.
So just word of gratitude. In that way, we are not in elevated levels of stress, and we automatically feel safer and in a more calmer space for our digestive system to work better.
Yeah.
And with the liver, no alcohol. Did you say that? No alcohol? No alcohol, guys. Yeah. Eat warmer foods or stay away from cold foods. Eat things that are bitter. And wow, I'm a really good student. Yeah. I got all of the points right.
Yeah. Thank you for summarizing that. And while you were summarizing, I realized I forgot one point.
Yeah.
A substitute for practicing gratitude before we are eating the meal is doing something called as a box breathing.
Box breathing.
So box breathing is breathing in for a count, like a long breath. So a count of 8.
Okay.
Holding the breath for a count of 8. Releasing the breath for a count of 8. And holding for a count of 8 before we inhale again. So it's a square kind of a thing. So it's called as a box breathing.
So for people who are really looking to improve their digestive system, box breathing, which is a square of 8 in, 8 hold, 8 out, 8 hold, and again 8 in for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.